this edition of RPPV News. COVID finds the peninsula, Flinders Pier is set to go, and our seniors get virtual. Hello, I'm Catie Sharp. Welcome to the latest edition of RPPV News, bringing you stories from across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. Half of the Victorian population is now fully vaccinated, but the number of COVID cases on the peninsula is rising rapidly. There are now 50 active cases in Frankston and 33 on the Mornington Peninsula, double what was recorded last week. Hotspot areas include Portsea and Flinders, both of which have high numbers of cases in comparison with their populations. Meanwhile, Peninsula Health is running a weekend walk-in blitz at its Frankston vaccination hub this weekend. No bookings are required, just turn up, roll up your sleeve and get vaccinated against COVID-19 at no cost. The walk-in blitz will offer the Moderna vaccine to anyone aged 12 to 59 and the AstraZeneca vaccine to those aged 60 and above. Following last week's call for help, wanted man Christopher Hillman has been arrested. The 43-year-old was arrested at a home in Sarno Court, Cranbourne, following a standoff with police. He was being sought after the fatal shooting of a 34-year-old man in Frankston 2 weeks ago. Hillman was treated by ambulance paramedics at the scene of the standoff and is currently under police guard in hospital to be interviewed by homicide detectives in due course. Police are not looking for anyone else in relation to the incident. Flinders Community Association has taken issue with the Parks Victoria report that claims the demolition of Flinders Pier will not have any significant impact on the marine ecosystem. Environmental Marine Biology Consultants, CEE, found the outer section of the pier, which will remain in place, provides the most valuable marine habitat for weedy sea dragons. The planned demolition hit the headlines a couple of months ago when acclaimed naturalist David Attenborough voiced his concern about the risk to the sea dragons. Parks Victoria says part of the old timber pier is unsafe and must be replaced. Charles Rees of the Flinders Community Association told RPPV about his concerns this week.
So their recommendation to proceed is based on a one-day survey without any information about how much time was actually spent in the water, and there was no information on the underwater visibility at the time, for example. So in the report they said they saw evidence of 5 weedy sea dragons in the time that they were in the water. So the next natural question is to say, well, how long were you down there and where are we diving?
But the imputation also of the report indicates that the sea dragon and its environment seems to be extending along that entire bay area, and it's not specifically in and around the pier as well, and therefore doesn't seem, in their view, to be going to have quite the same impact. Is that correct reading of the report?
Well, they do say that in one section of the report, but then in another section of the report they also tell us that Flinders is one of only 2 places where the weedy sea dragons are so easily accessible for people who want to actually see them in a natural habitat.
The 2021 Seniors Festival has launched, with many COVID-safe events planned across the peninsula. The festival began on October the 1st to coincide with the United Nations International Day of Older Persons. Events range from downsizing to singing, digital inclusion to keeping chooks. All the details are on the Shire website, so jump on and join in. Mornington Peninsula Cricket Association President Jason Nagle has told RPPV that work is still to be done on how to manage a return to competition this summer. Cricket Victoria will shortly be issuing a policy, with training likely to begin when the state reaches the required double-dose figures late in October. However, a major issue for the association is how to monitor whether or not players have been vaccinated.
There's going to be plenty of discussion, I suppose, and NPCA will, they're not going to go out on their own and make up carte blanche rules, but Cricket Victoria have always said that they'll be governed by what the state government say to them, and then PCA will fall into line with what Cricket Victoria put in place. I don't think you have to be rocket scientist to work out over the course of time. It's going to become whether it's straight away or in time. I think there'll be the vaccination policy for community sport or sport in general, and going into the liquor licence and all that, it could get down to no jab, no play.
And RPPV has been busy during this lockdown helping local organisations carry on. 2 weeks ago, the Children First Foundation held their spring lunch fundraiser virtually with the help of RPPV crew who streamed the event. With picnic hampers, raffles and a silent auction, Children First hope to raise $17,000, which will be used to enable children from developing countries to access urgently needed medical care. They smashed their target by raising an incredible $52,000 on the day. Then this week, RPPV streamed the awards night for the Southern Umpire Association. The group covers the Peninsular and Nepean leagues within the MPNFL and the Southeast FNL and celebrated the best of the best for the 2021 season. After the break, we go to Patricia with the coming week's weather report.
There's a quiet revolution happening on the rooftops of Australia. And at Solar Heart, we're proud to be leading the charge. One home, one family, one solar panel at a time, helping smart Aussies make a real difference to the planet, cutting their energy bills and connecting them to their smart energy future. Get smart, get Solar Heart.
RPPV and Bendigo Bank have a long-standing relationship. Without Bendigo Bank, we wouldn't have a transmitter site, we wouldn't have a studio, we wouldn't have an outside broadcast van, and without them, we can't tell the stories that we think the Bendigo Bank community, our community, needs to hear.
Thanks, Bendigo Bank.
Thanks for your support.
Established in 1988, Progress Signs has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs, specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs, a station sponsor.
Hello, I'm Patricia and welcome to this week's RPP Mornington Peninsula 7-day weather forecast. Today I am just behind the sand dunes at the base of White Cliffs Lookout in Rye. Here you can find a replica lime kiln as built by the Rotary and Lime Club of Rye in 1989. It was built here on the site where the historic Divine Kiln once stood. There was also an old loading point where bullock teams would drag wagons loaded with bagged lime into the shallow waters. From there, it would be transferred to barges and then to small sailing ships to be transported to a special limecraft dock which was constructed circa 1849 near King Street in Melbourne. From local history to this week's weather. Today, Saturday, the 2nd of October, brought us a mostly cloudy day with early morning fog and patchy rain. We reached a top of 16 and a low of 8. Sunday sees the showers increasing. Expect an overcast day with an 80% chance of showers across the peninsula. We will be looking for a top of 19 and a low of 10. Monday sees the rain continuing throughout a mostly cloudy day. We can expect a low of 8 and a high of 16. Tuesday sees another partly cloudy day with showers decreasing slightly. Expect a low of 8 and a high of 16. Wednesday, the 6th of October, sees another partly cloudy day, which will bring a 70% chance of rain. Look for a low of 7 and a high of 19. Thursday will be much the same as the week thus far. Overcast and wet. Expect to feel a low of 7 and a high of 14. And finally, Friday brings a partly cloudy day with a 60% chance of rain. We should feel a low of 8 and a top of 17. Lime was very important in the establishment of Melbourne. In 1835, the lime deposits of the Mornington Peninsula were in high demand. Limestone was quarried, burnt and bagged, ready for transport across Port Phillip Bay to the rapidly expanding city. Lime was an essential ingredient with which to make the mortar which held the bricks together, as well as the render which coated the bricks of the new buildings of Melbourne. Well, that's all for this week. Try to be kind, patient and understanding with each other, and remember to support your local businesses. Until next time, take good care.
And now to our surf guru Muzz with the Surf Report.
Hey guys, welcome back to this week's Mornington Peninsula Surf Report. Currently the weather's not great and the wind's not looking good, but by Sunday we should have an improvement. The wind should start to turn around to the offshore again, and right through next week it's looking like it should be alright. Once we get through these couple of days of southeasterlies and rain and southerlies, but that low should move off the east coast and leave us alone probably by Saturday. Generally surf is going to be fairly solid, and then on Tuesday we're going to have a really large increase in swell, so it's going to be pretty solid with looks like being north, maybe northwesterly winds again. Just after we thought we'd moved out of the winter phase into springtime, it does always still throw us stuff right through November, like it did last year. So hopefully this year it'll do the same. But there's been good waves on the beaches this week and good waves on the interim reefs, and by the looks of it, the peak of the days next week will be offshore, sort of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday definitely is going to be the big day, so if you're planning a day off, or if you're not back at work or whatever, Tuesday's the day. Alright, so enjoy guys, take it easy. Hopefully you're getting to surf, it's the only thing we've got, so enjoy, and I'll see you next week.
And that's all from our team here at RPPV News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Keep watching and do tell your friends. Stay safe, use the QR codes and get vaccinated if you can. Bring you the news from coast to coast across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition.